All right, first one, start with the band. So these are gonna be called shoulder retractions. The whole time you wanna think about the bones or shoulder blades, okay? So you're gonna grab the band. We're gonna start off a little bit easier, so we're gonna grab it really wide. What you're gonna do is you're gonna start from a kind of pushed and rounded out position, really reach forward so there's a little bit of slack in the band, and then we're gonna pull the band apart, push our chest through, and squeeze the shoulder blades in the back. So from the back it looks like this. You're gonna push, pull the band, pinch the shoulder blades in the back. One more time from the front. You're gonna go ahead and push, really push it, really pull the shoulder blades back. If this is uncomfortable with the arms to the side, you can try a little more down, you can try a little more up. I think for you, a little up is gonna be better. You can start in the middle and see what feels good. You know that you're doing these right when the middle of your back and the back of your shoulders are really contracting hard and you feel a little bit of a burn. The idea is to make these very challenging. So I want you to do between 10 and 20 reps with the band, almost until you can't, you're struggling to get the last rep. Okay. That's how hard I want you to go. I want you to get a nice good pump and contraction back here. That's the most important part. As we go further with these, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have you grab closer and closer, because that's gonna be more tension on the band and harder for you to do. All right, so the next exercise. Again, we're gonna grab our band, except this time what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it under our foot. We can do one foot, we can do both feet. My band is a little shorter than yours, so I'm just gonna use one foot, but feel free to use both feet. It's really important to have a good grip on it, so if you want to roll it around your fingers or something, just so it doesn't slip out, you don't have to worry about your grip. That'll be perfect. So what we're going to do is, again, thinking about our shoulder blades, I want you to bring the shoulders all the way up, really, really up, and a little back. So we're going up and back. You can start by going a little up and then back, just to kind of get a feel for it, but we want to do them at the same time. So, putting it all together, what we have is an up and back, up and back. Really, really squeeze and control. You're going to feel some tension in here and up here, and that's exactly what we're going for. So again, we're going to go up and back, hold, slowly control it down, up and hold, slowly and control it down. If you're feeling really good, you can also go up and back like we did with arms out to the side a little bit, and slowly down. Up and back, you can do little arms, hold, slowly down. We really want to feel the tension. So this next one, we're just going to do a single arm overhead press against the wall. I'm going to do it without the wall first, just so we have an idea, we get the details, then we'll do it against the wall to get an example. So there's two things we're really, really focusing on, okay? It's going to be pushing out, and then also really, really high. So it's not just keeping your shoulder blade in place and pushing through your shoulder joint. We really want you to use this muscle here, let the scapula, your shoulder blade, wrap around your rib cage as you over press up everything you got. You're going to feel a whole ton of pressure here and up here, and that's exactly what we want. So one more time, we're pushing out and up as tall as we possibly can. So we're going to grab some door, or I guess a wall is probably better. We're going to kind of put our shoulder against it. I'm going to actively push against the door. And I'm going to end up pressing and sliding my arm against it, up, hold, and then keeping pressure pushing against the door, I'm going to pull it back down. You don't have to bring your arm too low. 90-ish degrees or just below is fine. Maintaining that pressure. Slide it up, push it against the door, the wall, really over press. These are going to get tough very, very fast because the door/wall is not going to move. After you're able to bang out 10 of these just super easily is no longer really a challenge for you, because again, the whole idea is to challenge your body. So we're gonna grab our band, okay? You can step on it. We're gonna hold it roughly like this. Again, same thing. Pushing against the door. And we're gonna push, and really, really reach. Control it on the way down. When you're using the band, you're gonna gain tension really, really fast. So if your band doesn't work with having it under your foot because you can't press it, it might snap on you. What you can do is use the other hand, wrap it around a few times, hold it close to your stomach so your shoulder's not doing the work on this side. So glue it here, push against the wall, up, really over press. You can even lean into it. Slowly control it back down. Okay, so this next one you're going to want to grab preferably a large water bottle, something that you can accommodate a lot of water or a little water depending on how strong you are with these at that time. This way a little bit of water is pretty light, add more water, a little bit heavier, fill the whole thing is its heaviest. And then once we get to however many we talk about doing, and you're able to do these really, really well, we can grab a band in addition to this, and it'll make things even tougher. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put this aside just for a moment. So we're gonna be doing a very specific kind of curl. The whole time I want your hands like this. This is called supination, as if you're making a bowl of soup, okay? So we're gonna supinate, we're gonna make the soup with our hands. We're gonna have our shoulders up, just a little bit back. We're gonna hold them there, and then we're gonna pin our elbows to our sides. What we're gonna do, and you can do this one at a time or both sides. Let the arms go all the way down, and then all the way up. Hold, slowly down, hold, slowly up. We're gonna do this with the water bottle. So there's not any water, not much water in here, but just for the sake of example. So we're gonna make soup with our hand, shoulders up and back just a little bit, elbow pinned to the side, and we're gonna go down, hold, up, hold, down, hold. Nice and slow, really feeling the tension in this muscle here. If you feel a little tension here, that's perfectly fine. It's exactly what we're going for. It's actually the muscle that we're training. Take these very, very slow and intentional. Everything we do together is going to be about being intentional and feeling the tension. Yeah, that's that. Okay, so now I want to talk about two Band-Aids that you responded really well to. When I say Band-Aids, these aren't necessarily part of your rehab that I'm going to have you doing at home, like the hardcore challenging exercises. These are more for when you're at work and you're like, oh, this is killing me, but I don't have the time, or I'm not in a position, maybe you're on a ladder to go bang out some exercises. Just something for you to have a Band-Aid to reduce your pain temporarily while you're on the job or in a place where you can't really afford to not be doing what you're doing. So we have two of them. The first one is going to be kind of like an exercise we did. You're built like me in that we're stuck down here all the time, which is not always great. There's a bunch of nerves and stuff that get compressed, lots of muscles in there, restricts our breathing, it's just not fun. So the first Band-Aid is I want you to bring your shoulders up and a little bit, just holding them up here. If you're on a ladder and you're swinging a hammer or you're doing something with your hands and you're just like, oh, my arm's killing me, what I want you to do, bring the shoulders up, a little back, pin them here, hold them here, continue your work. You're gonna feel some tension back here and up the back of the neck, and that's okay. The only caveat to this is you might start getting a miniature headache, in which case take a break, try it again, and go from there. The second one is going to be when you're driving, or maybe you're at work, but I think driving, since you drive for such long periods of time and it forces you into that position that, well, again, bothers me just like it bothers you, you can also do the shoulder thing in the car. That's totally fine. But you're also kind of driving and focusing on driving. So try the shoulder shrugs, but I want you to try this one. You're going to have one hand on the steering wheel. That's your driving hand. But the other hand, I want you to reach for the ceiling and really over press like we were talking about that other exercise. Let the whole shoulder go up. You might find that the ceiling is like really close to your head, so you can't really do it, right? What you can do is just loosely have your hand back here so that we're just pressing with our elbow. So our elbow is going to be what goes up. You don't even have to touch the ceiling of the van. You just want to get it up and over press. Get this muscle and the muscle back there we're talking about doing his job. You can bang those out for as many reps as you want. You can hold them sustained. You might respond better to one version of the other, but either way I want you to try those two things. So just to review, because I know that I talked a lot in this particular part, the two band-aids I want you to play around with at work/driving. Shoulders up and kind of just hold them there for a moment while you're doing your thing, or even just some reps. And if you have some weight in your hand, maybe a drill or something, doing some reps like that might be helpful too. And then the second one is reaching overhead, really over pressing. And if you're in the van, you don't have the space, you can just think about pressing with your elbow, really over pressing. Okay. So, while we're going through all of these exercises, there are just two concepts I want you to keep in mind. It's going to take a little bit of time to get really, really good at these exercises, but like anything else that you practice, you're going to get better a little bit more every time you do them. So don't fret over not really knowing where your body is in space. Maybe you're like, this isn't quite correct. Don't worry about any of that. The two things I want you to keep in mind is everything we do here, I want you to do with intent. So slow and controlled. I want you to really, really just feel that overpress, feel the tension in the different muscles that you really are trying to hit. You'll know when you feel it. The other thing is I want you to really, really challenge yourself. Rehab is rarely pain-free, so a little bit of pain or discomfort when you do these is totally okay. The general rule is once you get to like a 5 out of 10 pain, shut it down, take a break, try again. If you get any like shooting pains, nervy pains, same thing. Take a break, shut it down, try again. So this second part, when it comes to challenging yourself, we're gonna start small, but we're gonna build up to a point where the last few reps that you're doing something, whatever we're doing, is gonna be like, ooh, I don't know if I could even do a couple more. It's like maybe I only have 2 more in me, and that's okay. That's exactly what we're going for. It's not just about doing the movements, like doing stuff like that, all jerky. No. Intentional. Be intentional. Really feel what it is we talked about feeling. Get really, really close to muscular failure. If you're pulling that band, you're shaking, you're really, really going for it, like, oh, I don't think I could do another one. Your muscles are cramping up, you have like this burn, a pump in there, all the blood's pushing in there. It's exactly what we're going for. So just a quick review of those two things. Move with intent. And then 2, challenge yourself. Really, really push yourself. Even if you're feeling really, really good or even really, really bad that day, push yourself with the intent. Putting those together over time, you're going to get better at these. Your pain's going to reduce over time. We're going to get you right where you need to be. Just remember, when we zoom in really narrowly, day to day, you'll have good days, bad days, good days, bad days, good days, bad days. And it might seem like a static line, like no real progression if you're looking day to day. The important thing is to actually zoom out. Not so much day to day, more week to week. Because you're still going to have those daily fluctuations week to week, but every week to week, with those fluctuations, you're going to have a general upward positive trend of improvement. That's what we're looking for. If you have questions at any point, shoot me a text, call me, we'll figure it out together.